Welcome back to Yumper and Swole's 31 Days of Horror, presented to you by the Tin and Glove Network. Today we're going to talk about the neo-noir thriller film, 2003's Identity. Identity is one of those movies that doesn't get talked about enough. Now, it was profitable when it came out. It made $90 million out of a $28 million budget. So it was popular when it first came out, but it kind of dwindled into obscurity as the years passed. It's one of those gems that you have to go looking for and remember how good it was. This movie centers around Malcolm Rivers, a convicted felon and mass murderer. What's happening with him is his psychiatrist, Dr. Malik, played by the great Alfred Molina, sees that his journals that his client had weren't introduced into evidence in the initial trial. Along with his defensive attorney, Dr. Malik is trying to prove that his client, Malcolm, is insane. This plot is going on while another event is happening where 10 strangers find themselves stranded in a torrential rainstorm at a Nevada hotel, run by a man named Larry Washington. The group consists of ex-cop, who's now a limousine driver, Ed Dakota, played by John Cusack, Carolyn Suzanne, a washed-up, irritable actress, Officer Rhodes, who is played by the great late Ray Liotta, who is transporting a convicted murderer, Robert Maine, Paris, Nevada, a sex worker, newlyweds Lou and Jenny, and a New York family, George and Alice, who unfortunately was severely injured when she was hit by Ed's limousine, and their 9-year-old son, Timmy. While the 10 are stranded, they begin to notice that people are starting to either die or disappear. When Ed is actually looking upon the crime scene of one of the victims, he notices that a number 9 key is in the victim's hand. And he begins to wonder what is going on. And as each person eventually dies, the keys decrease in number. So this is a total psychological thriller. It's like a whodunit with a huge twist. All this is going on while Dr. Malik is trying to convince his superiors that his client is criminally insane and should not be executed for his murder. And these two plots actually interweave with each other, so the viewer has to pay attention. And the best I can put the way this movie is written and shown, I can quote the great Roger Ebert, who said, "I've seen a lot of movies that are intriguing for the first 2 acts, then go on to autopilot, the formula ending. Identity is a rarity, a movie that seems to be on autopilot for the first 2 acts and reveals that it was not, with the 3rd act that causes us to rethink everything that has gone on before. Ingenious. How simple and yet how devious the solution is." That's perfectly put. Can't say no better. Identity keeps the viewer thinking and keeps you interested in what's going on. And then when you find out the conclusion, you want to go back and watch the movie to see what you missed, to show that where it ended up at. I think the acting is completely done great by John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet. I think the story is excellent. The directing, the setting, and like I said, it's a noir film, so it's in rain. It's like a crime drama thriller, so it's more on that kind of perspective and not so much horror, but it does play with your emotions. It does make you kind of freaked out by certain things. It makes you think in certain ways of who could have done this and why could have they done it. It's got a great ending, and I highly, highly recommend you check it out. I didn't want to give away too much in this review, but hopefully I got you hyped to go watch it if you haven't seen it. And guys, with that, I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out thetanglove.com for more reviews and podcasts. We just did our podcast on Nightmare on Elm Street for Yumper and Swole, so check that out. And check out our mother podcast, The Tan and Glove. Well, guys, we'll see you in the next one.